Why Shopify? Why, like, is this another confusing thing? Is this just another shiny object? Is this just yet another thing we have to learn? We have to study, we have to get, it just feels like another distraction. Okay, so let's overcome that objection right up front. Okay, so what we do is we make money online. Okay, that's what we do. We make money online. Okay, we all have a different way we do that, but we make money online, and we really do that with paid traffic. That's how the majority of us are going to do that, is through paid traffic. But we're not opposed to other resources like search engine optimization. We're not opposed to launching products and having affiliates promote for us. We're not opposed to organic, viral stuff. But what sets this mastermind up is the idea that I'm teaching people how to be able to create, how to be masters of paid traffic, how to be traffic directors, if you will, and then throw that traffic through some type of a funnel, okay, and sell them stuff. That's really it. I'm just trying to make this super simple. It's like you have this funnel, you want to send people into the funnel, and then through that funnel experience, you want them to get to know you, like you, and trust you, or know you and like and trust your brand, and buy stuff. At the end of the day, it's about buying stuff. At the end of the day, if I teach you how to sell t-shirts on the Facebook newsfeed, it's about people buying t-shirts. If I teach you how to sell with Shopify, it's about people going to your store and buying with Shopify. If I teach you how to sell with Amazon.com, it's about people going to your Amazon listings and buying your products there. If I teach you how to promote your network marketing business, it's about people buying into your network marketing business, okay? So you really want to understand it. It all comes down to you're selling things online. That's what you're doing. You're making money online by selling things online, okay? So there really is no distraction. Once you understand, like, I want you to really think of yourself with a proper foundation. Think of yourself as somebody who has a list of 10,000 people. Or think of yourself as somebody who has a list of 100,000 people, because you will get there. I'm teaching you the 3-0 club strategies to get viral videos. That'll help you build lists. I'm teaching you how to use Smart Member. That will help you build huge lists. I'm teaching you how to be able to do Facebook advertising to help you build a big, massive list. So I want you to really get a basic foundation here. Imagine yourself as somebody who already has a 10,000 or even a 100,000 person list right now that you're managing, okay? In any niche you want, okay? Any niche at all, doesn't really matter. It could be health and fitness, or yoga, or women for the Second Amendment, or dogs, or it could be network marketers, or it could be, video marketers, or search engine optimization. Doesn't matter. Those are niches, right? But imagine yourself having a 10,000 or even 100,000 person list right now that you manage, meaning that you have a community site that they come to, you have emails that you can send them, you can retarget them on Facebook. There's a lot you can do. If you were in that position, okay, now that we have that out of the way, if you were in that position, you would be looking for every different way that you could make money from that asset, right? If I handed you a 100,000 person list, that list is useless unless you can figure out how to monetize that list, how to make money from that list. So you would be looking at things like affiliate programs that are related. You'd be looking at things like setting up your own Shopify store. You would be looking at things like trying to send them to Amazon.com. You'd be looking at things like print on demand, Gear Bubble, selling cell phone cases and mugs and t-shirts and hats and you name it. You would be looking for advertisers to come in. You would be looking for everything you possibly could do to monetize that list. So I want you to understand, first and foremost, this is not a distraction in any way whatsoever, okay? Not at all. This is exactly what you are looking for to make money online. You're looking for ways to be able to monetize. Now, there's 1,000 ways out there, but what I'm doing is I'm finding the core ways to be able to monetize, and I'm basically bringing those to you as part of the inner circle. So the ways that I tell everybody to get started, if you are a beginner today, you can't learn everything overnight. Where would you be getting started? And I'm telling people right now, what you would do is you follow my strategies to build a list, build a community, build a list. And then to monetize, I teach you to use print on demand and Shopify. Those two things to monetize, print on demand and Shopify. Print on demand is a little bit easier to get started with because there's a lower learning curve, there's a lower investment to get started. And not only that, there's just less required from you. So print on demand is just generally something where for print on demand, it's really about two things. Okay, we talked about this before, but it's really about two things. And by the way, I'm going to share 4 things. I might as well share all 4 with you right now if you're taking notes. write these down, and then and somebody can post them into the group. But first, let me just get them off my chest, and we'll set them in order. So for print on demand, it's 2 things. I'm going to take it and turn it to 4 things. The 2 things to be successful with print on demand is design and targeting. Design and targeting. And the other 2 things that to be successful with Facebook selling, so it goes hand in hand, to be successful with selling things in the news feed, it's all about disruption and impulse buying. Okay? You want to disrupt people's experience when they're in newsfeed and do impulse buying. So the 4 things right now, if you were to sell things on Facebook and the things you were selling was print on demand, here's what you would need. You would need to get good at disrupting somebody's experience. When they're scrolling through their newsfeed, they're looking for their friends' pictures. They're looking for, that something just to distract them from work. They're scrolling through to maybe catch up on like sports stuff or in some group that they're in, or maybe catch up on some training. They're there for something else. They're not there to buy your item. So the very first thing you need to do is you need to disrupt them. You need to disrupt their experience completely. Think about it. When you go to Google, you're going to Google and you're directly searching for something. You are on a mission to find something specific. But when you go to Facebook, you are not on that mission. When you go to Facebook, you are literally just kind of distracting yourself, and you're just participating in social media. You're participating in the fact that that's kind of where your friends are now. We live in a day and age where your friends aren't people you have to go meet up with down the street. You can instantly get online and meet up with your friends and see what's going on and chat with them. So you're literally got to disrupt people from that experience. They're sitting there, they're scrolling through the newsfeed, and they're going to see your post. Your post is going to disrupt them from what they were doing. They were not searching for your item. They were not looking to buy your t-shirt or your Shopify product. So you must disrupt them and take them away from what they were looking to do. So you must become a good disruptive marketer. The disruption, there's a way to do that. We're going to come back to what that is, but there's a specific way to do that, which makes Facebook selling so awesome. So we'll come back and talk about it. The first one's disruption. The second one is impulse, right? Impulse buying. Because here's the thing. If somebody sees an item that they could just get at their local store or they could just get in town, then you're not really giving them a reason to stop what they're doing right now and buy it. Okay? The impulse buying factor is what makes Facebook amazing. So you gotta hit them from an angle where they're seeing your product, and if they scroll past it or don't buy it, they may never see it again. Okay? Either the deal you're giving them with price or just the unique item itself, okay, or both. If you have a super unique item that they can't get anywhere else except right here, and the price is amazing, then you're going to get them to make an impulse purchase. Okay, that's why the t-shirt phenomenon was so big. That's why print on demand selling was so effective, is because what you're essentially doing is you're essentially showing somebody a t-shirt that they can't get somewhere else. Okay, that they don't even know where to get this. So again, start off with disrupt, pattern interrupt, disrupt them. You want to disrupt them from what they're currently doing, using some imagery, using something that takes them away from what they're doing, and then you want to hit them with an impulse buy. Now, assuming that you have those 2 things together, and we'll talk more about them, but assuming you have those things together, the other 2 parts that I mentioned specifically for print on demand is design and targeting. So now, if you've disrupted them and you're giving them an impulsive reason to buy, well, the design has to be good. You can't just have, like, I'm looking for something random. I don't have anything random here, but you can't just have like a logo, okay? You can't just have like a shirt logo like this, okay? You can't just have a logo. That wouldn't work. You can't just have a logo, because see this Giants hat right here? This design it's just, there's Giants hats everywhere. Why would somebody need this? If they wanted a Giants hat, they could just wait and go to the store, right? So you have to come up with a design that is something super unique, that is super good, that people look at that and go, oh man, I've got to have that, right? So you want to be thinking of that. If somebody buys this, it's an emotional experience, okay? If somebody buys the shirt or the hat or whatever the item is, they want to be thinking, a lot of times with print on demand, they're going to be wearing this in front of their friends. They're going to be wearing this in front of their family. So it's kind of like, it's an emotional experience where they're imagining themselves wearing that item, and they're imagining what their friends are going to say about it. That's what they're saying. So like an example is like one of my students, Kim, she said, this girl, or maybe it was this woman, still dates her husband. And it was this design, and it was targeting this woman, it was targeting women who are married. And it said, this woman still dates her husband. And it was like all positive and stuff like that. And obviously when somebody sees that in the newsfeed, number one, that's not something that they easily can find in the stores. Okay. So they're sitting there. Okay. They can only get it right now on this exclusive offer. But what they're going through, that emotional experience, is they're going through what their friends will think when they see that, right? Like, oh, like that person's going to imagine themselves wearing that to work. They're going to imagine themselves wearing clothes. When people go clothes shopping or gear shopping, that's what they imagine. They imagine what their coworkers are going to think. They imagine what their family's going to think. They imagine wearing it to a specific event. They already imagine how they see themselves in it. Okay, so you got to put yourself in the mindset. And there's a million different shirt designs, but you got to put yourself in the mindset that when they see that design, they have to like it enough where they imagine themselves wearing it and they imagine getting a good positive reaction from people. And then the other thing there is targeting. Now, targeting is one of the most important parts of Facebook ads in general, but targeting is where you take the concept one step further and you're able to laser in on your target market. For example, this woman still dates her husband. You would want to target women that are married, but even better would be if you also cross-targeted a niche like Christianity. So now you're targeting Christian women who are married, now you're sitting there and you can target women who are like proud to announce that they still date their husband, because you would paint the picture of going, hey, in a day and age where there's so many divorces, in a day and age where people are splitting apart so much, in a day and age where couples aren't connected, I'm still dating my spouse, right? I'm still going on dates, we're still doing our date night, whatever it is. So now you're getting in on that emotion. So what's happening, if you can target like that, if you bring your targeting in, you think, wow, exactly. Sure, there's going to be, any woman is probably still dating her husband, but it's even more so the type of woman that might be following interests like Joel Osteen or Joyce Meyer or something like that. If you target people who are fans of Joel Osteen, and then you intersect the idea of things like that you just target women that are married. So all you do, like, think about how simple this is. And also maybe an age range. Okay, this woman still dates her husband. You're not looking at 21-year-olds. You're probably looking at 30, 35-year-olds and up or something like that, right? So watch how cool this is. What you do with the Facebook ad on something like that is you would do women 35 and older, okay, women 35 and older, and then you would do another demographic you would choose is married, okay? You would go into not a keyword interest, just part of the demographics, women 35 years and older who are married. And then the actual interest you would choose are terms like Joyce Meyer and Joel Osteen and stuff like that, and get these big interests. Now you're targeting all these pastors, all these big mega churches, all stuff like that, because it's just such a good audience. Or you're targeting book authors of female Christians who write these Christian-based books and stuff like that, Bible study type books, and you're targeting all those interests. So your actual interests are the influential Christian people who are out there teaching that marriage is good, stay married, you should still be dating your spouse, stuff like that. You're targeting that influence, and you're specifically targeting women who are married, who are 35 years and older. That is how you're able to dial in targeting. So this works for any niche, okay? But my point is that we could talk targeting for hours. My point is that if you have the right targeting and the right design and the right disruption in the newsfeed, you disrupt them with a killer graphic and a killer tagline and stuff like that, and an impulsive purchase. Somebody looks at that and says, if I scroll past it, I may never even see this again. This is exclusive. This is limited edition. And they imagine themselves emotionally wearing that item and they feel good about that. That's what's going to cause them to purchase. That's what all makes up the idea of selling things in the newsfeed, is this idea of literally right off the bat, you've got to disrupt them with a pattern interrupt, right? With a good image, but you got to disrupt them. Then you got to give them an impulsive purchase, and you got to make sure you have a design that's solid. You got to make sure your targeting is on point, okay? Disrupt, impulse, design, targeting. Those four things are the power that makes selling online and selling on the Facebook newsfeed so powerful. Our ability to reach out into any niche and choose between a million different interests that we could type in gives us infinite potential right now. We can go into any niche, scrapbooking, crochet, Harley Davidson motorcycles, the tattoo niche, weight loss niche, bodybuilding. It doesn't matter. You can go into any niche and you can apply those 4 steps. And with enough experience, with enough trial and error, you're going to start getting winners. And even if it takes a little bit of losses up front to get to those winners, you're going to get to those winners. Okay. So print on demand is a great place to start. Now, taking it a step further, okay, is Shopify. Shopify is like where you actually can build out not only just these little one-time little items on somebody else's sites, but Shopify is where you can start to build your own brand. Shopify is where you can start to lay a foundation and you can actually start to build your own brand, and you can have more than just t-shirts. You can have items. And here's what's awesome about Shopify is that you don't have to invent anything. You don't have to be one of those people that went on Shark Tank and you invested $50,000 or $100,000 into a widget design, something like this. You don't have to be the person that invented this. This is a skateboarding tool right here to change, tighten the wheels, work with stuff. It's like an all-in-one skateboarding tool. You don't have to be the person that invents the most amazing all-in-one skateboarding tool. Okay, what you can do is you can literally just go out there to these sites that are online, international, overseas sites, and you can literally just search and you can find there's already people who have made generic versions like this. Okay, and you can contact them and you can find out if they're the actual person creating it. You can find out if they can add something to this, if they can change or modify this. And you might be able to go, wow, if this one tool had this one little modification on it, or if this one pen right here had this one little modification on it, or if this cell phone case right here had this one little modification on it. See, I'm using my cell phone case as a credit card holder, holding all this kind of stuff, right? And so you start to think, wow, you know what? It'd be better as if these things didn't like fall out. Like, look at how easily they all fall out, right? Then suddenly you start thinking, wow, if this little cell phone case had this, and this would be awesome. And you go and you contact somebody who's already doing it and you start asking them, hey, is there modifications okay? Or can you put branding on it? What if this cell phone case was just nothing more than a killer cell phone case, but it had branding on it? Well, you can do all of that and more, and infinite potential. You guys, you can do all of that and more with Shopify. That's what makes Shopify great. Shopify allows you to put products in your store and sell them. And there's different ways you can do it. You can start, if you're a beginner, you can start very, very simple. You set up a store, you follow some basic instructions, and you get your own store up, your own logo and everything, and get your own store up. And what you do is you start with something called drop shipping. Drop shipping is where you're literally going to sell other people's products. Okay, so drop shipping in a nutshell, I don't want to get too advanced, but drop shipping in a nutshell is you feature the product, a customer pays you, and then you're turning around instantly and you're paying the actual person that has the product, and then that person is shipping the product directly to your customer, but they're shipping it what's called invisible, meaning that person that's shipping that product, the customer never sees them or hears from them. All they ever hear from is you. So if my brand is, let's call my brand Chris Record Products, okay, and I'm selling this cell phone case, I can literally just feature the cell phone case on my site. And if you buy it, I don't actually have to have this cell phone case. I don't have to manufacture it. I don't have to have inventory sitting in my office. I don't have to go to the post office and ship it. I don't have to do anything. You buy it and I can set it up. There's apps on Shopify that can do this, but I can set it up where literally it instantly places an order with the manufacturer of this case, and the manufacturer ships it on my behalf. But when you get it as the customer, you get it from Chris Record Products. You're getting it from Chris Record Products. You're getting my branding on it. You're getting whatever, you're getting it comes from me. That's drop shipping, okay? When it comes from me, I'm selling that product as is and kind of sending it out. Now, after you start selling more, you can gain more control over the situation. For example, let's say you want better margins. Let's say this is costing me $10 base cost for this cell phone case. Well, now I might go to them and say, okay, what if I bought 10,000 units? If I bought 10,000 units of this cell phone case, how cheap could I get it down? Well, now I might be able to get it down to $5 per case or $4 per case or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So now it makes sense. I might go place a bulk order, have them, personalize it, ship them to me, and then I might start shipping them myself. Okay. So that's the power of Shopify. The power is you can start very, very simple. Just feature some products on your site. People buy them. The order goes through. Somebody else ships them. It's really no different than print on demand selling. Print on demand selling, I'm putting up an item, I'm putting a design on a t-shirt, someone's buying it, someone else is shipping that. It's no different than using sites like Gear Bubble and others, except it's your site, it's your brand. The only real difference is you got to set it up. You have to learn a little bit, you have to set it up, and you have to put inventory on there. But that inventory, you don't have to have that in your garage. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to sell more than just t-shirts. It allows you to sell more items that might be able to disrupt their experience, and it allows them to be able to add items to the cart they might start adding a lot of items to the cart. They might start filling up a shopping cart with tons of cool stuff. So it allows you to hit multiple different angles, okay? So a Shopify store is something that you can set up even if you don't have any inventory and you don't have any products, and you can build out this store and you can start with drop shipping. It's something that doesn't take too long to learn. After you do drop shipping, you could eventually get into the world of actually increasing your margins. You can start private labeling products. You can start putting your logos on them. You can start making changes to them. You can start having super unique stuff that is your own. You can start shipping stuff yourself. If you want to, you can, there's a million different ways to improve your margins. So Shopify is a phenomenal resource. And there's a couple things happening. What I want to do now is check volume and see how it goes. And I want to bring out Lawrence as a guest. Lawrence is an Inner Circle member. He's also an Academy member. And at my recent Academy in Sacramento, Lawrence had a chance to share a little bit of his story, and a small crowd gathered around him as part of the Academy. And Lawrence is very, very new to this, but he had the ability to just be real and authentic and just share what's working, just real, raw. Hey, I'm new, but this is what's working for me, and this is the success that I just recently had. And everybody got attracted to that, and people really enjoyed it. So I asked Lawrence if he could come out here and share. This is his first webinar sharing this. So with that being said, Lawrence, if you're out there, let's test your volume, and let's see if we can have you start sharing your story.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Hey, guys. So yeah, I basically just started on Shopify maybe about 3 months ago. I came from the print on demand, as Chris was mentioning, with Teespring. I really didn't have too much success with it. Basically, I just really couldn't find a good design that was hitting. I did have a couple successful campaigns, but nothing too serious. And basically, I caught the whiff of Shopify. A couple guys were posting different screenshots in groups showing they were doing Shopify, and I kind of invested in a course in August, and now since then, basically how I started was I was just finding low cost items with a high perceived value, and I was just offering that item for free. And I basically just took like about 5 to 7 items, found a target audience, and scaled my winners accordingly, and just continued to do that process. Yeah, so basically I've just been, acquiring the customers on a free item and then just remarketing them through email and then retargeting them on Facebook with more relevant products to that niche. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not sure if what else to share.
So I'll kind of lead you along, Lawrence. Okay, so what date would you say you first got started?
I started on August 4th of this year, just right after the Ecom Express Academy launched. And I literally bought that course with my last $100 and did step by step of what the course did. And, within my first 30 days, we generated like close to $20,000 in sales. And that was literally with no experience on Shopify. The best thing about Shopify, I would think, is just the daily deposits. That's how I was able to keep on getting, daily sales. And then with the daily deposits, I was just able to reinvest the money I was earning into ads and continue to make more and more sales.
All right, so let's keep going. So tell me what, like, if there's anything that you're willing to share. I know some people like keep some stuff under guard. Like, are you open to sharing like what niche you went into, or even a broad niche you went into, or any kind of details about what niche you did, or what niches you even think might be interesting ones for people that have no idea where to get started?
So yeah, when I was going for like a niche selection, I really didn't have any niche in mind. What I did was I had a couple of shirts that kind of did well, and one was a Texas themed shirt that I sold maybe about 100 of them on Teespring. So I thought I'd try that that niche there. So I found basically I could share my screen. Can I, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Entire screen. All right, so I'll share my screen. Basically, what I did was I was finding low cost items. So if you see here, these items here all cost about $1. And
your screen's not sharing yet.
Is it not? Okay.
Just hit the green screen share, and it should say your screen is sharing.
Are you seeing it now?
Not yet.
Nothing yet?
Not yet. Hanging in there, though.
It says you are screen sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe when you share your screen, it gives you an option of like a few different things to share. Make sure you're clicking the one that's visible.
Okay. It says it's sharing. Can you see it now?
No.
Oh, that's weird.
If it's a link, if you want me to share it, I could always share it too.
Okay. Yeah, pull up the link.
You can just
I'll share it to you in Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically what I was just doing was just I chose Texas as like my first niche, just being one because I live here in Texas and I know how passionate they can be. So I found basically a Texas related item and I gave it away for free, and I charged $7.95 for shipping. So after I found that winner, you know, I seen it was pretty easy to just kind of like give these items away because people were quick to jump at like a free item. So I basically took that and I scaled that, and I just started adding different states that were available with the items. So I did Texas, I did California, New York, Florida, and I just kind of went down towards the biggest states and just offered basically a necklace for free and charged $7.95 shipping. And that was really like the beginning of Shopify. And, you know, now I'm just in different niches, just continually expanding and adding more products daily.
Yeah, I think we're seeing your screen now.
Are you guys seeing it?
Yeah, it's because I saw you typed in Texas and stuff like that. So if there's anything you want to show us, I think we're able to see it now.
Are you seeing my screen now, Chris? Is it showing up?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I mean, basically, this is even just my back office on Ali, and I just have, you know, my wish list set up here according to items that I'm selling, and I'm just adding these products daily to my site and just giving them away for free. So like here, this is just a simple ring for $2.36. Now, not all my products are free. So I do have the free products are just a tripwire to get the customers in the door. And then you try to upsell them on the back end, either through email, or what I've been doing lately is putting a backlink in the actual product description, and just getting them to purchase more. So if I go to like one, I'll give you guys a quick example. So if you come here, see I have like this backlink that says click here to see our biker collection. So they might come in on this item and then they just come here and they'll find more items related to it. So I've been doing those, and I mean, this is my store here, just been offering free items and some paid items as well.
Okay, so let's keep that screen up. Let's go all the way up to the top, and let's start over as if somebody doesn't even know about Shopify yet. Can we just talk a little bit about this? So this is your store and the niche that you've gone into. You said the biker niche. I don't know if it's that broad though. I don't know if you have more than just that niche in here or what. You have camo niche,
Yeah.
Niche?
Yeah, these are just kind of all add-ons. So I didn't start with all these collections. I just kind of started with a couple. So like in biker collection, there was a dog tag that I was selling, but the manufacturer actually ran out. We were selling so many of them that they weren't able to keep up. So there was a free dog tag I was giving away initially for the biker niche, and basically people were coming in, buying the dog tag, and just going exploring the site and adding more items to their cart.
Okay, so let's I really want to just try to inspire a couple people. So real quick, you started in August, and before August, how much Shopify experience did you have?
None. I didn't have any experience with Shopify at all. It was really like my first time.
Okay, and did you set up this store yourself, or did you have to pay a bunch of money for somebody else to set it up?
No, everything I did myself. It's really simple. It's just literally following just small step-by-step instructions to just add certain things to your store. And I mean, as you see, my store is really basic. There's nothing like hip to it, but I mean, it's getting sales.
Okay. Do you, and all those products that are on there, do you have all of those things in inventory in your garage that you have to ship out yourself?
No. I do have like 1 or 2 items that we do keep here just because they were selling like 50 or 60 daily, and it was more cost effective if we just ordered them in bulk and shipped them ourselves.
So you started, so just kind of like we start off this webinar, you started off with drop shipping. So you just basically found images for products. You basically found somebody else who could ship the products on your behalf, and then you took the images and you basically added them to your store as if they were your own products.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I'm doing. So if you see this item here, it's like I'm selling it for $2 on my site. And if we come here, we'll find that same exact item right here. It's 99 cents. Okay, but the item here, it's $2, but I'm charging like a premium fee for shipping. So I'm charging like $7.95 shipping, so it comes out to about $10, and on Ali it comes out to about $1.39. So there's about $8 markup there. But I haven't, like, this is the one product that I've been shipping from the house just because they've been selling so many.
Okay, so real quick, there's going to be some people that are so new, they're not going to understand at all. They're not going to understand at all why you would sell something for $2. So if you were explaining this to like your brother or sister or somebody who just didn't have, like, how can you sell something for $2 and still make profit? Because that doesn't make any sense traditionally speaking.
Yeah. Okay. So traditionally speaking, it almost
together, we're still going to be a team, and together everyone achieves more. That's the concept of a team. So I kind of like that. And look at like Lawrence is a team player. Lawrence doesn't have to come out and share this stuff. Lawrence doesn't have to give away some of his secrets. He doesn't have to come and share some of his niches. A lot of people are fearful, but Lawrence has abundance and he's sharing. So first of all, I just want to say thanks, Lawrence, for all the value that you've delivered on today's Inner Circle webinar. It's been very valuable. And congratulations on your first webinar. I'm sure we got many more in store where that came from.
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you want to hang on, Lawrence, if you want to hang on the webinar, I'm going to go a little bit longer. I think another 30 minutes or so. Feel free to stay on or not. I don't know how your schedule is like, but I got another. You remember Michael from the Academy? I asked Michael to come out. Michael Crouch, my good friend from Hawaii. I asked him to come out and share a little bit about hitting this all from another angle, taking the Shopify angle and mixing it with the print-on-demand angle. So one of the things that's really cool is that. And actually, before I introduce him, let me make sure that his volume and stuff is working. So Michael, I saw you just popped on the Hangout. Michael, is your volume working? Can you jump out and say something?
Yeah, can you hear me all right, Chris?
I can hear you great. Michael. Awesome. And then real quick, Michael, if you're going to be, are you want to do just audio, or do you want to share your screen, or do you want to share your video? How would you like to do this?
I can share my screen. Let me pull up my store here.
Because I think Lawrence is still sharing his screen.
I stopped sharing it. Is it still?
Then let me see. I might have mine. Hold on one second. Stop. There I am. All right. And then so yeah, so I'm here, and as soon as I see Michael sharing his screen, Michael, see if you're able to share your screen. We had screen sharing problems earlier on this Hangout for some reason. And just tell me when you're sharing. So what's up, everybody? For those of you that are watching live or watching the replay, hey, drop in the comments real quick. Are you enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying this? Are you getting value out of this? I'd love to see some comments. While we're kicking this real quick, let me read some of these comments. You enjoy this kind of training? Are you glad you're part of the inner circle? Lawrence, you got a bunch of people giving you props there. Let's see. All right, Michael, I think you're sharing your screen now, right? Perfect. Yep. Okay, so we got Michael sharing his screen now. So let me make sure that we're good here. So here's how this is going to work. Let me really quickly, Michael, let me give you some edification and introduce you. So Michael Crouch is, we go back a long time. We go back several years. In fact, for like a year or so, we were even roommates down in San Diego. He lives in Hawaii, and he's, you know, we've gone back and forth with all of these different like business ideas and business concepts, and we're always checking in and trying to find a way to work together. Well, back in early 2014, Michael came to me and was asking about the T-shirt business, like this print-on-demand business, and what I was doing with it. Is it really lucrative? Is it really you know, pretty successful? And I said yes, absolutely. I started showing him the kind of money that I was already making, and he said, all right, so is it still got room to jump in on it? And he's the kind of person that jumps in big. So he's the kind of person that kind of takes a stand back, reviews everything, puts together a plan, and then he takes massive action. So he jumped on Teespring, print on demand on Teespring selling for the first time in like January of 2014. And the following 30 days, his first month selling T-shirts on Facebook, he sold about over $1 million worth of T-shirts. Okay, sold over $1 million in his first month selling T-shirts. Something like half of that was commissions, and then obviously deducting Facebook ad costs, there was still a large six-figure profit first month out the gates, generating a large six-figure profit. So he really kind of took on to this idea of being able to rapidly see an opportunity, be able to rapidly scale it into the hundreds of thousands or even into the millions. And so he's been dabbling in a bunch of different business ventures, but recently we said, hey, let's get some stuff going in Shopify. So Michael said, hey, you know, you can actually do that whole Teespring thing, like that whole print-on-demand thing. You know, you can actually do it on your own Shopify store too. People don't really realize that. So I asked Michael if he'd come out and just kind of introduce himself and give a high-level overview of using Shopify to sell stuff, especially things like T-shirts or print-on-demand, things where you can kind of you know, create your own print-on-demand store, and just really any other thoughts about Shopify and any questions, because Michael is just getting ready to ramp up a brand new Shopify store alongside with me. I'm ramping one up, he's ramping one up, we're going to be doing stuff together. So this is also an opportunity to introduce you to Michael Crouch, and a chance to be able to realize we got a lot of people here in the inner circle who have a lot of value that they bring to the table. So Michael, there's my quick introduction for you. If you just want to take over, jump on out and start sharing, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. How's it going, everybody? Real quick, is there a way I can see questions that pop up on here? Is that through Hangouts?
I can give you a link to see the questions.
Okay.
The questions are in the inner circle group. Anyways, I'll ask the questions while you're going.
Yeah, if you see some good ones, you can fire them out.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Chris. So yeah, basically, you know, January of 2014, I started off doing print on demand, and you know, had never really done online anything before, as far as with Facebook marketing. And yeah, we did. You know, we're basically number one on all of Teespring. Our first month out of the gate did over $1 million in sales, and we're able to, you know, scale up pretty quickly. So, you know, a lot of things went into that, but, you know, I know a lot of the people probably listening are probably starting off on Shopify. Shopify was actually new to me, and so I guess my goal with this would just be to give you an insight on how you can just get up and get starting. I have about 5 or 6 different sites that are all in different niches that I'm rolling out right now, and so I'm going to show you 1 or 2 of those sites today, so you can just see, you know, these are all started within the past, you know, maybe a week or so. and ran some tests to some different things, got some different things going. We'll talk a little bit about print on demand and like the stuff that you can do with Shopify, and so I'll just jump into it, and then you guys can ask questions as we go. So this site that we're looking at here is just a site that I threw together here within about the last week. It's pretty simple. I just added a paid theme on it, which is about $150. But before, actually, when I ran most of the tests, I'll show you the numbers. It was just on a free theme out of the box. We were primarily selling, kind of testing a little bit about what Lawrence was talking about with this bracelet right here, this nurse bracelet. And here's just an example of something, free plus shipping. You got a couple different color options here. And here's an example of, kind of a little bit what Lawrence talked about, call to action, limit for. So the thing that I thought was cool about this is that, it's basically you're making money. Like this shirt, I'll show you, it was or not shirt, but this bracelet was making about, $1 a sale. It's out there. It's on AliExpress. It's maybe not something I'll run with long term, but I mean, it's something that was able to get several hundred leads and also make a few $100s just by running like a small ad test to it. So I can now have, in my arsenal after, 4 days, I think around, 200 to 300 nurses that I know are buyers, and also, make a little bit of a profit just off of running that one thing. And it's, really easy to set up to do that. Taking it to a little bit of a next level, this is a site out there right now that is actually running on Shopify. I'll show you a few of them. These guys have gone through the licensing process with like the Dallas Cowboys and done some things where they can actually use official logos for doing Shopify. But these guys actually use a company that we'll talk about called Scalable Press. And I set up a group buying discount for basically Scalable Press is what they are is a wholesale print company, and they don't have an affiliate program or something like that. But we were able to put together a group buying code for everybody so that we can all kind of lump our sales together. Anybody that does want to get into doing T-shirts online, and be able to get them for about half the price of what you would pay on Teespring. But this is an example of a company that is using the same model. They're putting out a lot of stuff print on demand. Now these guys have actually grown this into a legitimate business because they've gone out and done some of these licensing agreements, which really aren't that hard to do. I've actually had some friends on some other businesses that have gone down this road, and you'd be surprised if you put your mind to it what you can get done. But this is an example of a company right here that's using Shopify that's doing 8 figures. So these guys are consistently, hitting $1 million sales months and powering it all on Shopify using the exact same technology that, where are we at here? There we go. Using the exact same thing that we're using right here. So, set up within a couple days, you can really, start yourself off to have a sustainable business, which is something that you wouldn't have with Teespring. So with Teespring, we did $1 million month, but the second you stop selling shirts, what do you really have? Do you have a brand? Do you have your customer data? Have you built a relationship that's really going to be a long-term business? And I found that even though we'd done a lot of sales, that the answer to all those questions were no. And whereas with this, the thing that got me excited is even though this dinky nurse bracelet, I mean, you say, oh, wow, you did $1 million, Mike, why are you excited about this thing doing a couple hundred and getting a few hundred emails? But my answer is that it's fully sustainable. I know that if I stop right now, that I still have all that customer data. I built a relationship. I've delivered a product. I've taken their credit card and earned their trust, and then had an opportunity to reciprocate and deliver something that is a value or a nice product. That all goes into getting you to a next level where you could be like a company like this, like I said, running on the exact same technology, something that you can kind of grow into. These guys doing 8 figures. Another big one that's out there is this swimwear company. I don't know if you've seen them, but we live in Hawaii, where we kind of set the trend on swimwear. But these guys are huge. I mean, if you were to look up Facebook interest for bikinis, I mean, these guys just dominate. I mean, they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, or millions of followers. And another company that is well into the 8 figures, that's doing all their store on Shopify. And so anyway, I just wanted to dive into that a little bit to share what's possible as far as growing. As far as starting out, it's really as easy as coming into this guy right here and starting your store. So Facebook has some, Shopify has some scheduled maintenance coming up here. So I'll say, got it, thanks. Review customizations. They're making a change to their, this is saying they're making a change to their checkout screen. So these guys are growing too, and that's the thing about technology is, I always say just jump in, play in the sandbox, because you can see right here, even these guys are making, a change to how their tracking is going to work on their order page. So, they're letting you know they're progressing as well. This is something new that came out, pushing on Pinterest. We've been testing with that. So you'll kind of see what we did over here. We had 752 visitors, $554 in sales. We're kind of ramped down here just because we're running some different tests. And so a lot of this, when you get into the big scaling and doing, big numbers, is you really want to have a handle on everything, that's out there with these new ads. Chris mentioned lead capture ads, but running the page post engagement ads and running the clicks to website ads, and really getting an idea of what's working, because Facebook is always changing things. But this is an example of just kind of what we've run just over the past few days. You can come in here and you have your open orders. So we have 16 open orders that we need to fulfill. And Chris, I know I jumped on a little bit late here. Most of the people on are pretty new to starting off with Shopify.
Yeah, I would say treat everybody as if they don't even have a Shopify store yet, and then the people that are a little bit more advanced and already selling, they'll pick up the little crumbs of they'll get like the 1 or 2 little nuggets. But for the majority of people don't even have a store yet, and that's why I love the fact that you guys are both showing really new stores, because that's going to be more relatable to everybody new getting started. Is they're gonna they don't even know, like when it says orders 16 over there, like to them that might be scary. Like, oh wait, I have to fulfill orders. That might be a scary thing.
So this, I mean, it's pretty easy as far as how this works. These are the unfulfilled ones that we need to ship off. These are all the ones that we've fulfilled, that we've let the people on AliExpress know that they can ship the stuff. But it's literally, I mean, as far as fulfilling something, it's literally as easy as going in here, clicking out these checks box to say, hey, these people got their orders, and bulk action and fulfill the order. And the cool thing about Shopify that I really like for the person starting out is that this is basically this app store right here, is that you can go in as somebody new, and these are the apps that I have installed. So these are these are kind of my go-to apps. So if you're starting off with Shopify, this is actually a good, in Hawaii we call it a quiver. That's like your set of surfboards. So this is my little quiver of apps here, and so you might want to take some of these down, because it's a good starting point. I've used, I think, all but about 1 or 2 of these. But basically what this allows you to do is to have a website that you can customize really easily. And so this is kind of a new paradigm that's happening right now in technology, is that even 5 years ago, if you wanted to get a lot of this stuff done that these little apps do, and I'd be the first to tell you, I've flown to India many times, and you would have to find somebody, usually overseas, because programming is so expensive and so sought after here in the US that it becomes almost impossible to get stuff programmed for a decent price. I mean, your average programmer is $100 to $150 an hour, and sometimes it takes a few hours just to figure out what you're doing. So what this does is it basically takes the hassle out of you having to pay that kind of money or go overseas and get stuff programmed. This paradigm shift is that people are building softwares that interlink together, and you can kind of just push a button and tie these softwares together really easily. So going through a very fast, MailChimp. This handles all of my email responder really easily for Shopify. This Zopim is run by Zendesk, and this does all the live talk. So if you go on to hoodiehero.com, you'll see this little button that pops up here, leave a message. So if we're live, we can talk right in the chat. So that's what that is. Min-Maxify is for limiting products. So if you were doing a free offer, what you're going to have to do is go into your shipping, which is right under here, shipping. And the way you do it is you kind of set these little codes where it says 0.1 pound to 0.1 pound is $7.95. So that's what we charge for shipping one item. Or if it's 2.2 to 0.2, it's $14.95. And so not to get too complicated, but this is basically how you set up a free plus shipping offer, because it's 0.1 would be one free plus shipping offer. 2, and so as you can see, the more free plus shipping offers they add, like if they added 4 offers, it would be 0.4, because each one of those is set at 0.1 pounds each. And so we would charge them a little bit more for the shipping. But this app right here prevents people from, kind of taking advantage of that. So that's what Min-Maxify is. Not online store. Here we go. It basically allows you to put a cap on the free plus shipping offers you can do. Bulk discounts, haven't really used that one yet. Order lookup, I'm putting that on the site so that people can look up their own orders. Google Shopping, this helps integrate all of your product pixels with the new Facebook pixel. So a lot of this is testing, like for guys getting started, one thing I can say is like don't be afraid to just dive in. Like actually on this site, I was trying to get things perfect. I was messing with a bug, and actually on that nurse bracelet, and having a problem with a software, because sometimes you will get little things with the software where you might have to go on to Upwork and have somebody take a look at it, and all that stuff is manageable at the end of the day. But what happened was I couldn't fix this bug, and I fell asleep, and I woke up the next morning and I realized I'd left the ads running. And so I'd set up Facebook ads before I realized I had the bug, and then when I realized I couldn't fix the bug, I just let the ads run. And what happened was I was actually getting dollar conversions. And so I was getting, which is great, because I was making an average of $5 off of the bracelet. So if I was getting that was my profit margin. So if I was paying $1 for the conversion, that means I was making $4 for every bracelet that was sold. And so just an example of, don't try to get stuff perfect. That was an example of me trying to get stuff perfect. And the only thing that really saved me was, the fact that I forgot to turn the ads off and woke up in the morning and I was making money. But that's kind of my advice, is just to get in, get stuff running, run tests, run ads, because who knows, it might not be perfect and you might get $1 conversion. Scalable Press, this is an app that we're going to talk about. This is the one I mentioned that we'll have a group buying discount code for these guys, so that it'll be as if you're leveraging Chris and myself's buying ability. So it'd be as if you were spending about $1 million a year with these guys, which would be the equivalent of you probably selling $3+ million in apparel on your store. So you'll be able to leverage that. And what this app does is basically turns your Shopify store into your own Teespring at the end of the day, and gives you much better pricing, and also gives you the ability to have all the control, where you're actually building a legitimate business like Hoodie Hero or something like that, where you can capture all the information, get a lot less pricing, and pretty much just have all the things that you don't have with some of the print-on-demand services with that one app. So basically, you just click that button and you install it. It's real easy, and then you let Chris or I know, we can attach you, and then you can basically be set up with your own Teespring within a matter of minutes. Abandonment Protector, this thing's pretty cool. So if somebody goes and fills out a form, a checkout, which a lot of times they do on the free plus shipping offers, and then once they see the shipping, they leave. You can set this up. I didn't have this running for the whole time. I set it up kind of late in the game, but I think I got 3 or 4 recoveries. So you basically set up your little email templates here, of a 3-stage email. One fires after 24, or one fires right away, right when they leave. So if they put in their information, they see that the shipping is now $7.95, and they're like, "Oh, I'm leaving." We still have all their information, so we can send them an email right away. We send them this second email after 24 hours, and then we send them this third email after another 24 hours. And then you can see here, oh, boom, that's pretty cool. I thought we had 3 or 4. We actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's really cool. So so right here, you'll see, and this won't include the shipping either. So some of these ones that say 0, they're actually, or you can actually see over here what the total price is. So $24.95, $7.95, $7.95, $14.95, $7.95, $7.95. So, you know, right there, that's a thing that's just automatic. Literally all I did was I came over here, I clicked a button, and I added this little thing right here and made a couple quick emails, plugged them in, and now I've got this little machine that as soon as somebody leaves on their free plus shipping, you know, that it's firing, you know, firing those emails. So you could see just those 5 sales, what I make, you know, $60 or something, maybe $70. You know, this thing only costs like $5 or $6 a month, $7 a month, maybe $10 a month at the most. So these little apps, they're cheap, and they, you know, I'm just running a little tiny test on a couple sites, and you know, it's already paid for itself for the year. So that's really the advantage of Shopify. I hope you guys are kind of getting this, is that this is new. This ability to have your own website, your own e-commerce store, and plug in all these solutions. Like before, if Chris or I, like even a few years ago, we had a site and we said, hey, we want to put up like a cool, you know, email capture. And, you know, we wanted to do this and that, and we want to capture the email. We want to do an exit pop-up, so if they leave, then, you know, it's going to hit them with a pop-up window to capture their information. Now all this stuff you can do, like this site right here, MailMunch, you could do that just with that one app. So that app's probably $5 a month or something, you know, super reasonable. And, you know, and for right there, you can just push a button. You don't have to call somebody in India. You don't have to, you know, pay $1 million in the US. You can just literally click a button, and the code automatically plugs in to what you're doing. So I can do an example of one of these so you can kind of see for the new people. We'll go to visit the App Store here, and just you can just see how easy it is to plug in some of these solutions. One of the other ones at the bottom there was it does the order, spreadsheets for you. Lawrence actually turned me on to that one. It's pretty cool. So when you shoot out you're doing your fulfillment and you need to put together a spreadsheet for your vendor, it'll just push it out in the click of a button. So this is the App Store right here. You have categories, marketing, sales, shipping, all these different things you can do. So let's say we're starting out, we want to get some marketing. So these are just things that you can do. This one's pretty cool, and you'll find things that you like and you don't like about certain ones. The ones that I had in my particular app catalog, the ones that I like, or those are the ones I've kind of gravitated towards in the first week that have helped. Receiptful, this is the one I know a lot of people use. It really puts together like beautiful email receipts for the person right after they purchase. So maybe we want to do that. Here you can see they have a free account, and it's somewhere between free and $5 a month. So it's not going to break the bank. It'll probably, you know, make us several times that if we use it. And so there we can plug it in. I'll also show you that most of these actually come with a free trial. These ones don't, because they're free anyway. This one's free, so this one you don't have to pay for at all. But a lot of them you'll see here right under this, it'll say it has a free trial. So even the ones that are really powerful that maybe want to charge you an arm and a leg, and there are some of those in here, even those ones, they'll let you, like this one, $19.99 to $119.99 a month. Probably does some cool stuff if they're charging that much, and it has 5 stars. But even those kind of things, that's a loyalty program. Let's see if we can get my connection working here. Out in Hawaii, you know, you gotta crank up the internet sometimes. Go out back and crank the wheel. It's not going too good. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah. Well, that's
okay. We're getting the spinning wheel of death. But anyway, so basically my whole point here was that this guy right here pretty much guaranteed they have a free trial. So even if that's you know, something that you like, but you're like, whoa, I don't want to spend $20 to $120 just to try this thing out, it might not work. Pretty much all these apps that have a price up front will give you, you know, 2 or 3 weeks to try it out at no charge, so you can see if it's worth it. Because you might plug this in and make $100 a day right away, and then, you know, now you have something for, you know, that you can use for the future. So that's kind of how this all works. won't spend too much time belaboring over that, but we'll go back to the store here. So that's the App Store. So this Export Order Pro, that's the one I was telling you about. So if you export out to or you fill your orders through AliExpress or whoever you're using to fulfill, this is an app right here. You go to the App Store, plug that one in, and now you have a super easy way that you can send off your orders to AliExpress. Product feed, so the new Facebook Pixel, pretty fun to play around with. Also can be frustrating, because it's new technology, so you're probably going to have bugs here and there. But basically, the new Facebook Pixel, I mean, you can track everything. So really plugging in Facebook with your Shopify store is pretty awesome, because I mean, you can literally see, which products are selling to which people. You can retarget those audiences to, on each individual product. So the possibilities with Shopify and Facebook advertising are literally endless. And then Fishbowl, this is just a little one I was just playing around with. It's like a little fishbowl where everybody puts their name in a bucket for a prize, and then you capture those leads, and at the end of it you give out a prize. But they developed a little marketplace for doing that. So anyway, so these are just, I mean, you can see here, it's not a lot. It's just a few, maybe a dozen, if that. And, there you go. I mean, I did that with a free theme. I didn't even pay anything for the theme. I don't think I paid anything for any of these. So, so Shopify's on a 14-day free trial. All these apps are on a free trial too. So I don't even think I paid $1 to anybody yet. And, already made a few $100, just, selling nurse bracelets in my pajamas. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it needs some scaling up. We got to get those numbers up there. Like in the 6 and 7 figure range, to scale. But when you're building something sustainable, it's real exciting, because you can see that even if you're breaking, like I made money on the stuff that I was running, but even if you were breaking even, it wouldn't be a bad deal, because don't want to show you everybody's info here, but you have all these email addresses. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of email addresses in here that we can scroll through, and these are all people that I know are either buyers or went through the trouble of filling out the checkout form. One of those two things. So pretty cool. So even if I hadn't made any money, it would still be worth it, because I have tons of nurse gear that I can offer them through email. So through MailChimp, which again, one button and you connect your MailChimp account, and that's it. So now MailChimp will start mailing those people for me, doing some of that automated work. So any questions coming through on your end, Chris?
Not a whole bunch, but let's start with abandonment. The cart abandonment.
Anybody left on this thing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's a bunch. Everybody's still on, man. Everybody's super engaged. So, real quick, with abandonment protector, I don't know if Bishop's asking a question. I think Bishop might actually just be saying that it costs. What are the costs on the abandonment protector one?
This one was actually the good one. We'll go check it out in the store, or maybe I can come over here. There is one that is expensive, so you do have to be careful, because the Shopify app community is still new, and so because of that, a lot of people are coming out with solutions that nobody else has. And so if you have a solution like abandonment protector, there's not a lot of good solutions out there. And so because of that, you're going to see some people charging ridiculous amounts. Like they'll say, hey, we'll give you this app free, but we want $10 on every abandonment that you get back, or not that bad. Maybe it's $1 per abandonment. But people are getting away with high charges on some of these apps because it is new and they can have one of the only solutions out there. So just look around, because like this one, I know there was one that cost a lot more, and this one I actually liked better, and it was pretty cheap. Let me see. It tells me the price. I could probably just go to the. Apparently it's free, because I don't see the price anywhere. But let's go back to. We'll visit the App Store and see if it shows it on there. So this is how easy it is. If you heard the word abandonment, you're like, hey, what's abandonment? And so you put in it here, and you have all these abandonment things that pop up. So this is the one I'm using right here. There it is, $8 a month, 21-day free trial. So I'm not paying anything right now. So all that money I made from running that app, I mean, I'm not even going to give them anything for 2 weeks. So pretty cool, you know. And if it didn't work, if I tried it out and it didn't work, and I, you know, on the 20th day I decided, you know, this thing stinks, I don't even have to go through the problem or the trouble of unsubscribing and going to the account and finding out how to, you know, take my credit card off so they don't bill me. Literally, all I have to do is come over here on any of these apps, and I just click right here where it says remove app, and that's it. So as soon as you remove the app, you're automatically taken off of their billing, and your account is, you know, disconnected. Now, keep in mind, if you have something that you're trying out and you remove it on a free trial, if you go back and try to add it again because you're like, wait, maybe I could use this feature that I didn't know, and you go back and try to add it again, you won't be able to do a second free trial. So, you know, my advice when you're trying stuff is at least, you know, before you delete it, make sure you try it out to its full capacity, because then if you delete it and try to get it back, you're going to have to pay for it at that point. But anyway, so that's easy. So you can go in, try that out, $8 a month, and you're rolling. What else, Chris?
I'm thinking that people are a little bit lagged behind because the questions that are coming in are about stuff covered.
About 1989?
No, they're just a little bit behind, like a 5-minute road. Let's see. Darcy's asking if we can negotiate a longer trial. Yeah, Darcy, we're in the process of working out a deal with Shopify. So if everybody wants to wait to sign up for Shopify until these next couple days, I'll have a link that will be a better deal than the traditional Shopify one. So for those of you that want to just spend a little bit of time just studying really quick, I'll get you guys as good of a link as I possibly can. Cool. No, I think yeah, there's still questions coming in, but they've already been answered. Let me see one more refresh. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. No, everybody's just fired up. Everybody's saying, like Mary's saying, this is all neat. This is going to be exciting to grow as a community. Yeah. So Mike, I think that unless there's something else specific you want to share, I think that's a good. I think that was a really in-depth overview of stuff. I don't know if there's anything else specific you feel like sharing or want to share about. I know that you're about to blow it up big. I know that you've got big plans, and so people are seeing like a brand new store from you. Maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, but you're the type of person that likes to kind of get everything working properly, get the flow working, and then as soon as it's all working, you scale up like a madman. So I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. But yeah, if there's any final thoughts, feel free to jump out.
Yeah, I heard one question earlier about you know, niche sites and stuff like that. So the strategy that we're doing as far as with sites is to have like a catch-all site. Like Hoodie Hero is kind of a catch-all site because you can pretty much make a hoodie about anything. And then if you have a niche that spins off that you can tell that's profitable, like we know that nurses, you know, will be profitable because we've you know, we've had success with it in the past, and we can see that you know, we can make a profit pretty easily running to some of our lists. We're going to spin that off into its own store. So that's kind of my advice. I heard that question come up earlier when Lawrence was on, because you really want to have your store as niche specific as possible because it's going to keep everything organized for you. So my advice is to just get started with a catch-all store and kind of do your testing. Like this is kind of my sandbox here to just test stuff. And then if you find something that you know, is a niche that you think can sustain on its own, because some of these niches, I mean, they can do a lot. I mean, you know, they can do 7 figures in sales a year in a single niche, no doubt. So anyway, so that would just be my advice is to sandbox kind of in a place like Lawrence has, where, you know, Super Quick Deals or Hoodie Hero or these places where you can kind of roll a bunch of different ideas through it. But then if you find that, hey, the Harley niche is blowing up, or the dog niche is blowing up, then maybe have something that's a little bit more niche specific. Because if you think about it, you can be, you know, the Michael Jordan for that particular niche. You know, you could be the Michael Jordan for dog necklaces, or for, you know, whatever it is, and you can roll over, and you know, and it's not really a big deal for as far as cost goes, because, you know, you can get these stores down to about $29 a month, and you know, so it's not really you know, any cost burden as long as you test and make sure that niche is working well.
Cool deal. Let's wrap this up. I like the fact you showed the nurse bracelet. Actually, can you pull the nurse bracelet back up, Mike, so I can end with that one?
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. It's just kind of wrapping it up. Or any, yeah, the nurse bracelet or anything else, yeah. So let me just kind of wrap full circle with where we started. So one of the things that we started with was talking about the four, and you missed this part in the beginning, Michael, but this is just one-on-one stuff. But I start off by saying there's four very important areas to selling on the Facebook newsfeed. The four big important things is, number one is disruption. You've got to disrupt somebody when they're scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed. They're not looking for this nurse bracelet, right? If they were looking for a nurse bracelet, they would be on Google. They wouldn't be on the Facebook newsfeed. The Facebook newsfeed is not the place to go shopping. They would be on Amazon or they would be on Google. Okay, so understand, we're selling it to them on the Facebook newsfeed, which is, so you have to disrupt them out of what they're already doing. So that's the first thing, focus on disruption. Number two is, what you want to do is you want to focus on impulse buying, which is where you come up with some sort of reason why it's impulsive, that they have to have it. Now, in this example, for the second thing, take a look at this Love Nurse bracelet. The thing that makes this impulsive, there's only really one thing that really makes this impulsive, and that is the fact of, if you were a nurse, right? If you were a woman and you were a nurse and you were scrolling through Facebook, somehow you saw this. This is not something that you easily just find in the store. Now, they might have this kind of stuff in stores somewhere, but this is not something you've seen. When you go to the mall with your family, you don't see this. And if you did, you'd probably love it, or your friends would buy this stuff for you, right? So if you're either a nurse or you know someone that's a nurse, that's what kind of makes this the impulsiveness, is that it's tailored to the point where you can't find this easily in stores. And anytime you can't find something easily in stores, it's awesome. Now, the other part of this that makes it impulsive is the price. Okay, this is regularly $20, but today it's $0. So price and uniqueness is what's going to make this thing impulsive. Okay, so somebody's going like, man, they weren't shopping for a nurse bracelet, but oh my gosh, my sister's a nurse, or my mom's a nurse, or I'm a nurse. I would love this. And then the second part is it's free. Now that takes away the objection. Of course, there's going to be some shipping, but they expect that. People have been tailored, consumers have been trained to appreciate and understand there's going to be shipping with stuff. So that's how we handle the pattern disrupt. Is going to be the ad targeting, the ad with the right targeting. The impulsiveness is going to be the free shipping plus the unique design, and then all the rest of it just gets into design. And so the design itself, I mean, look, it's cool looking. Okay, the cool thing about design with Shopify is that you can go to AliExpress and you can go find products other people have designed, which I'm sure that's what Michael did here. I'm pretty sure he just went on AliExpress and probably just typed in nurse jewelry or nurse bracelet or something like that. Probably was something already existing out there. But if this was print on demand, design would be important. He would want to make sure that his designer designed something really good that looked really solid. If it was an item that would be digitally printed on clothing or hats or anything. So print is important. And then the final one is targeting. So you have the disruption. You're disrupting somebody in the newsfeed. You're getting them to make an impulse purchase. So disrupt, impulse, design, and targeting. Now with targeting, that's why this is why some people are going to succeed and some people are going to fail. You got to realize that's why he's got a nurse bracelet. Okay, what makes this bracelet sell is the word nurse on it. That's the part that a lot of people, when they're getting started, don't understand. They might, if you took this exact same bracelet and it didn't say nurse on it, if it just said love and it had the cross right there, it wouldn't even sell close to as well. Okay? So that's the big thing you got to understand, is that the item itself has to have some sort of obvious targeting mechanism to it. In this example, nurse. So now Michael can get in and can target tons of keywords related to the nursing industry. And that's the big thing, you guys. That's the big thing, is that, again, just so you're looking at this design right now, if you take off the word nurse off of that, this thing flops. You just throw the simple word nurse on there and suddenly you have a winner, because there's obvious targeting that goes along with it. Okay? Now it's also scalable, because if this works for nurses, there could be another word that gets put there, okay, for another industry. Okay? There could be, there could be other things, that there could be other words, there could be other careers, there could be other things that people are passionate about. So that's one of the things you want to just get into. Okay, and then you start researching. Like, look, women love bracelets. The bracelet's free. Now, what other kind of elements could be put in there? Maybe instead of nurse, maybe it says like librarian or whatever. Teacher, right? So you start realizing, like, holy smokes. Then there's a whole entire target audience for teachers that are easy to grab. There's a whole entire target audience for librarians. There's just so many different, so many different professions. So you really start to find something like this and start to find the scalability of it and start to find opportunities. And by giving it away free plus shipping, what you're essentially doing is you're at least breaking even your ad cost. You're breaking even on the shipping. So when you're charging, let's say, $8 for shipping, maybe your out the door cost on everything is $4. So then you're charging $8. So maybe you're making $4, right? Four goes into expenses, and then you're making $4. But then maybe you have ad cost. If it costs $4 to acquire a customer, you'd be breaking even. But the point is, even if you were breaking even, you're still building a customer list. You're still building this list into the tens of thousands of nurses. And then if you study the other monetization webinars, you can have a membership site that monetizes. You can sell print-on-demand T-shirts to them. You can sell more items in the nursing shop. The bottom line is, even if it took like $4 to acquire a customer, Michael could still make a profit on this store. But the bottom line is that he could probably get customers for less than $4, like he's saying, like as little as $1. Okay, so that's where you start to realize the power in what's happening here. Is that free plus shipping model is a total impulse purchase. So I wanted to end with that because I want you to understand that's really what we're talking about here. Is we're talking about monetizing these niches, and then also imagine that Michael already had a list of 100,000 nurses that are buyers, that 100,000 free plus shipping buyers or whatever. Let's say that he already had a list. Okay, let's say that he was acquiring customers for $1 a piece or whatever, or $2 a piece, and he spends $100,000 or $200,000, and he gets this. Well, guess what? Once he has that list, he could come up with a new product like this, and he could just run an email campaign, like a 5-day email campaign, giving away, whatever, selling these for normally $20. He's selling them for $10 right now, and he can email his list, and he can milk that list for even more and more and more revenue while offering them something really cool that they love. And then he could come up with a nurse T-shirt, and he could come up with a nurse mug, and he could come up with a nurse cell phone case, and he can start coming up with so many different creative ideas. Sky's the limit. So keep that in mind, is that this is a long-term play, but what's powerful is that you can make money in the short term. You can. Lawrence started in August and has already generated over $120,000 in sales from the store. You guys, you can do this. It's something that's absolutely possible for everybody, and that's why I formed Team Shopify. Team Shopify is going to be our chance to get together as a team. You noticed Michael talked about scalable press, and he said, because if we do a group bulk buying deal, then we can get Scalable Press to give us a better deal than if you went there on your own. So if you wanted to sell T-shirts and clothing and sweatshirts and hoodies with designs on them from your store, Michael's able to negotiate a better deal because collectively we're doing millions of dollars in volume, whereas you yourself might only be doing thousands of dollars in volume. So you're getting the deal as if you were doing millions, and that's the kind of stuff we could do with Team Shopify. We can bulk buy into team licenses for software. We can bulk buy into team deals. If we do some sort of licensing deal, which I know Michael's looking into, if we do a sports licensing deal, we could do a bulk licensing deal where if a lot of us want to get involved in sports, then we could basically say, hey, look, here's how many units we intend to move as a result of this, and we can start getting these bulk licensing deals. Okay, we can start operating under a bulk license. So one of the benefits of being part of a team Shopify, is that we can work together and we can all achieve better results than we could individually, and we could all help each other off. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to help everybody get off to a good start. That's what we're going to do. That's the whole point. You're going to start, instead of being all alone, all by yourself, you're going to have a team, and we're going to have a Slack group. We're going to have a Slack community. It's a software tool where you're going to be able to go in and ask questions, and other people are going to be able to answer. You'll be able to post results and stuff like that. And you're going to quickly find it's better than Facebook even, because the Slack community allows us to be able to have some resources and be able to do some private hangouts and stuff like that. So I just wanted to summarize that. Team Shopify. So how do you become part of Team Shopify? Right now, Ecom Premier Academy is launching Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And basically, anybody that joins directly through my link, which is teamshopify.com, anybody that purchases Ecom Premier Academy through my link will automatically be a member of Team Shopify. If you already own Ecom Premier Academy, then you'll have a secondary option that I'll make available to you. But for those of you that do not yet own Team Shop, if you do not yet own Ecom Premier Academy, as long as you buy it, it's $297. It launches tomorrow, Tuesday. As long as you purchase it, you will get access to Team Shopify, all the perks. You'll be getting some free stuff that I'm spending over $10,000 on myself. You'll be getting access to the bulk buying power. And then what's going to happen is we're going to start working together as a team. Okay? And in the future, people will be able to buy into the team. So we'll be able to grow it if you have friends that want to join. But right now, you can get it. The only way to get in is it's for free as a bonus. It's a bonus for purchasing Ecom Premier Academy through my link. So I'm going to list out the bonuses. John Collins is asking if I'll list out the bonuses. I'll list them out. But essentially, there will be a Smart Member site where we have recordings of our trainings from our webinars that you can watch and some resources. And then there will be a Slack community group, and there will be some bulk buying power that we bring to the table. But more importantly than all of that, it's your chance to be able to do Shopify together as a team. So the way it'll work is the inner circle will focus on a variety of topics, so we will be covering Shopify. So if you cannot purchase Ecom Premier Academy, you still will get some good Shopify training. But if you can be a part of Team Shopify, you'll get even more, because that'll be a chance for us to dive directly into Team Shopify and really make Team Shopify something big. So I wanted to invite out Lawrence, I wanted to invite out Michael as trainers of two people who are actively basically just starting out and getting ready to ramp up Shopify, plus myself. And together we're going to do some big things. You're going to watch these stores do millions of dollars. And when they do millions of dollars, we're going to look back and we're going to remember how Lawrence had just got started in August, how Michael had literally just started this store days ago, and how I haven't even started my store yet, and I'm confident that my store will do millions. So as a result, you guys are going to watch this with your very eyes, and you're going to do that. So again, if you already own Ecom Premier Academy, not Ecom Experts Academy, but Ecom Premier Academy, I will be doing a separate deal. I'll be doing a separate opportunity for you guys to get involved. If you do not own Ecom Premier Academy, make sure to purchase it on Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, but preferably on Tuesday so we can get started with training right away. Make sure to purchase it from teamshopify.com. It goes for sale at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. All right, Michael, you got any final thoughts? Lawrence, Michael and Lawrence, if you guys are on, you have anything final to say, feel free to jump out. Otherwise, we're going to call it a day.
It's all good. Here, I'll show you one more thing, one more little cool thing. We're going to go and buy this pink bracelet right here.
Nice, show it to me. Let's see it.
Let's see, let's take that. All right, here we go. Going to go, so we got these cool little buttons right here. I love this Pay with Amazon because I always click it myself.
When it works. There we go.
When it works, yeah.
It didn't click.
It says connecting.
I see that. Yeah, there you go.
That's Hawaii for you. My last trick, it's a flop. Is it going? It has to go across the Pacific Ocean, satellite, all the way to Amazon up in Washington. All right, it didn't work.
It says connecting on the bottom. I see your screen trying to load.
Let's see, here we go. Got it back. Shooting it to Washington again. Shooting it over. Connecting. All right, well, if you want to move to Hawaii and be an entrepreneur, this is...
So what you're saying, Michael, is that you want to, when you're targeting audiences to buy your products, you want to exclude Hawaii because they won't have a good internet connection.
Yeah, like I might really want this right now, but I'm in Hawaii, so I'm not going to be able to give you my money. It's all good. I was just going to show you how cool it is because basically when this does work, 99 out of 100 times, you get that. If I were to leave, you get that email. I get those emails all day long from the banning cart people. And then just put them on a list. It just does it all automatically. It's so cool. Like we never had that with Teespring back in the day. just building a list on autopilot.
Well, that's the big thing. You never had the big thing about Teespring is that everybody was making money, but you never had customer data, and you never really had the ability to get multiple transactions out of a customer. And that's really why people like Shopify, because like in a nutshell, you can build your own brand, which is actually sellable. You can build your own. You're in a lot more control than you are with other third-party sites, and you can offer more products than just print-on-demand clothing. And you get all your customer data with all of these extra things like cart abandonment, the ability to retarget on your own, the ability to see all of that. There's just all of these other benefits that you get with Shopify. So I think it's pretty powerful. I think that's pretty awesome. Lawrence, did you have any final words? I don't know if you're still on, or do you want to? Otherwise, I'll just wrap this thing up.
No, that's it. Just take action, guys. That's all.
Take action. That's exactly what Lawrence said. All right, everybody.